Hello everyone, I am Tacet and today I'm going to be going over the new legendary of Monolith. Sorry that I wasn't able to get a video out the other day. Their servers were not going that good. They were actually so bad that they even had to post on it on social media. But today we're going to be going over the new Monolith as well as the events in a different video. But today let's go over right here. Dark Monolith deals damage to the two weakest enemies and then deals doubles if he himself is also damaged. Though that can get quite a bit of damage out there, especially if you can get that magic buffed, which he can actually do just from his ability. Fully traded, he gains 3 magic whenever an enemy casts a spell. Pretty much one of the first spells that is counter to the enemy casting a lot of spells. Technically there already was one inscribed, but that was only 1 armor every single time, and then late in the game that was pretty much nothing. He also has stone skin, which is pretty good. Quite a few brown reds actually have that if I'm not mistaken. Lava elemental is the main one that comes to mind, but he is pretty strong because anything that has a 50% reduction going to be able to counter scroll spam just a little bit. But he's mainly going to be used in first slot in hopes that he gets damaged and then you just cast spam him like crazy. There's also probably some construct teams that you can build with him, but for the most part I built him around daemons in the teams I'm going to show. But first, I don't even have him. Let's actually go get him. Ideally I would want to get at least 6 copies of him to get him up to mythic. I still haven't. Well, there's a good start. 3 dark monoliths. I heard some people saying that they pulled like 500 keys the other day, and it still didn't give them one. And there's a bunch of incubuses. He's the new event troop. Of course, we'll cover him a little bit later. A double charmer. Charm doesn't really get used that much in this game. I really wish it did. But anyways, there's our monolith. We got 3, so let's see if we can get the other ones. 3. Ooh, now we're gonna get horrible luck with the rest of them, aren't we? Okay. Oh, we might run out of keys here. Yep, 3 because we got an Inferno King instead. 4. Oh no, we might run out of event keys. 4. Come on, stop it, Inferno King. 4. 5. Oh, can we get the last one with the last of our keys? Of course, I could just use more gems if we really had to, but I'd prefer not to. That's mainly for VIP chests for when we get mythics. Come on, let's see it. Ah, right there. Now that was decent RNG right there. Got it right on the last of the event keys. So we'll go and upgrade it to mythic. One thing to note, if you are a newer player, or really just a good majority of players in this game, do not bother getting him to mythic. Just get one of him. The only reason I'm doing him to mythic is because it is likely when the 3.0 patch comes in, I have no clue when it's coming exactly, maybe a month, 2 months or so, that they're going to be lifting this cap off of kingdoms. These, where it says coming soon, the 150 gold per day, the triple tribute chance, and these triple skill bonus. Well, to be able to reach these, particularly the triple skill bonus and especially the tribute, well actually I meant to say that reverse order, whatever. These 2 are the main 2 that we kind of want. And to be able to do that, I'm pretty sure we will be needing this guy at mythic, which is why I bothered to get him all the way to mythic. But if you're a good majority of players, don't bother getting more than one of him. It's not really worth trying to get more unless you just have an insane amount of resources that you do not know what to do with. But we'll just put all of our levels down on there, trade him up completely, and go test them out. We have 2 teams built up for him, and I'll go show both of them right now. There are quite a few things that you can use with him. Mainly anything that can feed him red and brown are ideal, or you can feed another troop and then have that troop feed it. It is a little bit lower on the HP, quite a few constructs are, and has that very high armor. Not particularly good in that regard. One thing to note is that a lot of these Bladed Land troops, as you can see, are like 50% bonus. I think that's the most 50% bonuses that have ever occurred in an event so far. But, well, let's head over to PvP. I can see some other people are already getting those annoying builds up. So hopefully the Bone Dragon will not troll us too hard. Let's actually replace that out with the correct troop. Go over to, not Blackhawk. Go over to Blighted Lands, put that in, and here is our first team. Dark Monolith, Desdemona, Inferno King, and Mercy. If you don't have a Mercy, you can probably put an Apothecary there. If you don't have Inferno King, you can use Hellcat. And let's get into it then. What we're basically going to be doing here is trying to use our Mercy to fill up Inferno King. If you were using Apothecary, you'd be using it to get up your new legendary of the Monolith. And then we just kind of keep casting from there. This will be a relatively easier battle this week compared to other weeks, mainly because of how high of a bonus daemons have. So it's pretty much impossible for me to try to represent it as it normally would, as I can't undo the 50% that just stays here the entire week. But as you can see, with these kind of numbers, it's pretty easy to tear everything apart. I'm pretty sure I'll be trying something like this later too. I was thinking of doing the exact same thing, I just haven't made a video for it yet, is using Desdemona as like a absolute tear everything apart now that she has 50% bonus this week. She's going to be very strong because she has armor piercing and double the daemons. She's actually going to be very dangerous to us if she would have gotten a skull off. I think she would have even one-shot for stone skin if she got the armor piercing, which would not have been good, or almost. Definitely would have two-shotted it. But as you can see here, we do want to get this thing damaged if we can. That would be ideal. Mainly just need him damaged so he'll do the double damage. And at that point, we'll easily be able to get those kills. He unfortunately doesn't actually get anything from getting a kill, but the fact that he does so much damage already doesn't really matter if he does or doesn't. Don't know if we'll actually be able to get him to kill something this time. Let's see, we have 25 true damage, double daemon. Go throw that on that then. Oh wait, never mind, extra turn of daemon, double of yellow. Fail. I didn't even bother reading it there, I just assumed what it was. Haven't used her for a while, but she is pretty good. She was mainly used to counter out daemon teams back when they were very, very popular. And this week, they are going to be very, very popular with that much of a buff on them. It's going to be insane. This is actually, I believe, the first battle I've really been able to get in for the most part, mainly because the servers have been not the best the past day or so. As some of you may have experienced. It was mainly just on the PC mobile side, but now we'll finally be able to get a kill off with it. Unfortunately, he's not damaged, so we're not going to be able to get the double damage off. I could wait till he gets a little bit. Oh, nope. I could wait till he gets a little bit of damage. Actually, I think I'll deliberately let it get a skull right there, just so we can get some damage on him. So we'll give it some blue and everything like that. But now we'll be able to do double damage. Now, what determines if he's damaged is if he's losing any HP. One thing to note is that you can give it more HP even once it's damaged. But you can't heal it. Healing it would undo him being damaged. But as far as giving him HP buffs, like for example, a Mercy. If you give him an HP buff from Mercy right now, which we can't do, it will not actually interfere with the being damaged aspect. So he's still going to be doing the double. So we'll throw that down, get down our 56, that should be, yeah. And then we'll just tap him with anything. And that is basically him. Get him damaged and spam his ability like crazy. So there we go on that. Let's go now into the... Yep, that was the first battle we did this week. Now let's go over to the other one. And if these loading screens would go through, I might need a repick. This guy looks pretty weak. We could go for it. Nah, I think that might be too weak to show. Oh, I hope they fixed the repick. Good, it didn't put us in an endless loading screen. Okay, that's a little bit better. Though it better not get a random devour on us. Okay, and here... we're going to, of course, put in the new legendary again. Put it right up in first slot. And we have Dark Monolith, Humility, Euro Fire Mantle, and Mercy. It works really good with magic buffing, so we'll just magic buff it even more. If you don't happen to have a Mercy, this one you could easily use Apothecary and experience basically no difference. Whereas the first team you would experience a slight difference. This one, use Apothecary, and it's pretty much the exact same battle. And other than that, we have a Euro Fire Mantle, mainly just keep looping, and so we can actually use the magic buffs that Humility will be giving us. You can instead use a Alchemist if you would prefer, or don't have a Euro. So we'll get into this now. General premise is, if you happen to have a Mercy, of course, pretty much use her as quick as you can, or fill up your Apothecary and fill them up. Or simply just go for the Mercy directly. I mean the Humility directly. So we'll go for that and go for the Humility directly, just off of the Mercy. And now we can either aim at the manas we need or Skull. Since there's basically no mana we need, I'd only aim at it if it was actually red or yellow, or red or brown, I meant, because obviously it automatically does yellow. So we'll just keep spamming this at Skull until we miss our turn. I'm not going to bother taking those skulls that you saw right there, mainly to make sure that we still maintain our extra turns. The more on the board there are, the easier it is to get an extra turn. So it doesn't even matter that there's barely any yellow. But he will get that. One good thing about this skull spam, though, is it will now make us susceptible to actually be able to get him to weakened. So he's just going to keep skulling us down. And now, hopefully, we'll be able to get him to weaken soon. Let's see. We'll probably just go for a yellow, hope it surges, and we do get it. And we'll just throw this down again. Keep aiming at those skulls. Even if we miss, that will just give him damage. That'll bring us into weakens. Also, you can see we're getting a bunch of random burns on him. As, of course, from our Euro Fire Mantle fully traded. If you happen to have it, we'll allow that. Did it hit it to weak? I don't think it hit it to weakened yet. But as you can see here, we can use Mercy to heal it. And it doesn't matter if it has that higher HP. Only healing it will make it go into weakends. Giving it more HP will not take it out of weakends. So we'll throw that down. I don't believe we've gotten a magic buff on it. I want to get a magic buff so we can get double damage and just one-shot everything. So, like, right now, even though his HP is in the green, he's actually going to still be doing double damage. Oh, of course, it knocks it back down. But even if he is in the green, he can still do double damage. And, whoa, 73. The only reason it's still in the green was because we gave it an HP buff. But it still counts as damage. It just looks at if his HP is lower than whatever his max HP is. Which is why HP buffing works, like Humility. I mean, like Mercy. Oh, well, Humility, too, if it gives it an HP buff. But this works because it's giving it a higher max HP, whereas healing just heals it, brings it towards its max HP. So keep that in mind. Don't use heals with this kind of troop or anything like that. So you wouldn't want to use something like a Dryad or any of the other few healing troops that are somewhat decent. Okay, so he is damaged. Not much we can really do on this board. I might give him a Mercy just to heal him up a little bit more. Of course, it aims at the weakest troop on our team. So that would, of course, be him as he's our tank. So we can just keep feeding him mana that way. Get our Humility back up. I think this time I am going to aim at a red just to get that little bit of mana, hopefully on an extra turn. We do completely miss the board. That is not that good. But as you can see, we'll still be able to get in that double damage. As long as he doesn't die, we should be good to go to win this. Might just have to swipe my mana because it doesn't look like we're going to get that much good luck on the board. We already have such a huge HP built up in armor from our Humility that he's barely even touching us with all of that. So we'll go and throw down these reds here. Finally just get it down. I don't really care if it takes that skull or anything like that. As long as he doesn't die, we're fine. So as long as he doesn't start looping somehow off this cascade, nothing will really change that much. Okay, so he is going to get the kill, it looks like, because I don't believe that's going to hit his Dragon Soul. Luckily, he will go for that skull instead, but we can do this. 76 times 2, that's going to be a lot of damage right there, and it takes out both of them one shot. And if we cast that again, it'll get another double kill. Unfortunately, it is going to die. There's no way we can really stop that. Took a little bit too much damage just from everything. It's a little bit hard to get that thing started up. Also, he wastes his turn whenever he does start getting upwards. But as long as you can get something behind him kind of looping, it doesn't really matter what it is. As long as you can give him his colors that he needs, and you can just keep spamming that out once he gets weakened, you should be able to do that quite fine. It works ideally if you're up against something that has a poison, because you can easily get them to weaken very, very quickly without them having to go through all of your armor, which is something to consider if you're ever up against and you happen to have him. Because one good thing about him too is you don't actually need him traded to be able to do that. If you happen to have him and you just see a poison on the enemy team that will hit the one shot, or just any troop in general, or something of the like, you can easily just switch to that and then do a lot of damage to them if you need like some kind of counter to it. Okay, so at this point I was trying to get something else, but we'll just go for the general kill. It better not get a Devour off that thing. That would be very annoying if it actually did. It probably will. If I had to guess, it will end up getting that. These tentacles are wanting to loop like crazy. As far as this troop in general, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be using this legendary too much after this event week. It has a very nice high damage. It's pretty good against looping. The problem is it can't loop itself, so that's one really big disadvantage that it has. As you can see right here, we're now Euro Fire Mantle against this gigantic Kraken. I might actually have to leave this battle. I think we just lost it, simply because I guess I was giving it just slightly too much at the beginning of that battle. But we'll kill it with Euro Fire Mantle. I believe it has a magic buff, so he actually has a lot higher damage than what he normally does, so it shouldn't take too long. He might be buffed, but we're also buffed. So we can just poke him down, I think, with one more tap, as long as he doesn't gain too many huges somehow. He's working on it now, but he's just going to deny our mana, but not going to matter. Yeah, we have enough damage, and that would be the match. Definitely not the smoothest of matches, but the general premise is he would have gotten it looping. Didn't really have the board that would be able to do such a thing, but that is that. Sometimes they just don't want to work. But of course, overall, over many matches, they will. If we would have done it on that easier match, it would have torn through it like nothing. But I wanted to do a slightly harder one, so it'd actually be slightly more representative of an actual real match. Like something like this, it'd be a lot easier to kill too with some kind of team like this. But anyways, that is the new Dark Monolith. Overall, really good tank, exceptionally well this week. I think one of the problems I may be having with it is I probably shouldn't use it first slot. Maybe just try using it only when they have like a poison, a Venoxia, or something that will actually get him. He seems more of a second slot to me. I kind of did that with this and put a humility second slot. Maybe next time we should try humility first slot. Actually, let's try that now. We still have some time. Let's just do that now. Let's go humility first slot, Dark Monolith, Euro Fire Mantle, and Mercy, and see how this changes up this battle. Because I believe it'll work better now. I think the main problem I had was I kept kind of just letting him take damage. I took way more damage on him than I really should have. So let's see what happens now. Of course, he doesn't have an easy way to really reduce him down. I don't know if he's actually going to be able to do his double damage or not, but we will be able to utilize the fact that he'll be able to get 3 magic from whenever they cast. We also will be gaining even more magic by the fact that our humility is in first slot right there. So there we go. We get him up. Ideally, I want to get Euro Fire Mantle right there, but it's fine that we don't. I think I'm just going to take these yellows. I mainly did that to take the red to get the Euro up, but it seems we got humility up instead. So that happened. We'll go and throw that at brown. I just want to get that little bit last bit of mana if we can. And we do off of extra turn. We still haven't gotten that magic buff that we need, but it's not going to matter too much. Oh, I should have taken it off the top. Oh well. Yeah, because it was just going to be taken anyways. There we go. Well, we'll just throw that at skulls. And that's probably going to be the end of humility. Yeah, there wasn't that high of a chance of getting extra turn at that point. And now we have both of them pretty high magic buffed. If it starts doing a little bit more damage to us, we'll start gaining our magic buffs on all of them as well. Because whenever it's fully traded and takes damage like that, it gives all allies 2 armor and 2 magic. Pretty powerful. And we'll just keep throwing this at skulls. I do want our humility to die. Ideally, I would want him to get into weakened. Though at this point, with a humility in first slot, unless they're being really aggressive, I don't think we're actually going to be able to drop. So let's do this, kill out one of them. We can use the Euro Fire Mantle to kill out the other. And this is how I intended it to work. And luckily, it is working like that now. I guess we just had a little bit of a hiccup in the previous one. That, or maybe we should be putting humility if you happen to have it fully traded in the slot before. If you don't have it fully traded, do it in the previous order, though. Because the whole point of putting it fully traded is they both have a trait that basically helps them when they get to weakened. Humility will be giving 2 armor and 2 magic to all allies whenever he gets hit on his HP, and he, whenever he goes into the red HP, or loses any HP, will be able to do double damage. So right here, we'll just throw down the skulls again, allow it to poke us. Even if we miss, it'll still be good. And hopefully we got a magic buff on it. Didn't actually see if we've been getting any yet. Well, I saw right there that we got one. And it looks like he got the revive. Unfortunately, we don't, in this format, we don't actually get attack buffs on our humility, but it doesn't really matter too much. I'll probably let it take a skull. I'd really want to get this thing damaged, but with 129 armor, that is definitely not happening. I can say that right now. So we'll do that. Not doing it for the humility, but for him to actually die. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have let him die. We could have saved him with a mercy. But all we have to do now is basically just take a red, and there we go, 100 damage. He doesn't have double damage, but that is way more than enough to actually kill. So we should be fine. Oh, 102 damage. It's not even 100 because he has a base damage of 2, even if he had no magic. So yeah, there we go, Dark Monolith. Of course, he is a little bit higher statted this week, but there we go for the double kill. And that's how that's supposed to work. And luckily, it did work that time. But that'll wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.